Overall, we feel like our venture was a success. Creating and maintaining a podcast is something that was new to all of us, so we were impressed with how smoothly the operation went. Starting with the customer discovery, we were able to create a service that catered to the needs of our interviewees. We were also successful in following up with those interviewed in order to adapt and make any necessary changes to our podcast to assure we were producing content that people wanted to listen to. We were also able to gather a following of listeners who tuned into both episodes, which we predict will continue to grow every week. The general quality of our content was a success as well. Specifically, the inclusion of streamer Creed onto our second episode proved that people in the community care about and support what we're looking to achieve through this podcast, which will only grow over time. In the future, we plan on continuing to expand the podcast and have several goals in mind. The first being the possible monetization of the podcast and being able to gain revenue from our content. The primary source of intended revenue would be through advertisements and paid sponsors who will be mentioned during our episodes. Furthermore, Podbean, the podcast platform in which we submit our podcasts to, has a donation feature where listeners can send money in order to assure the best content possible every week. We want to continue to find more guests to bring onto the show for professional input and opinion, whether that be more streamers or even game developers. Finally, we want to increase the variety of our content with every episode by including different segments within the show or read and respond to questions and comments from our listeners. In the end, we really enjoyed this project and felt like it was a success from start to finish, and we look forward to what Codcast has in store for the future.